I've been taking the product for about 11 years now. Basically from the time I started on the True Hope, I have not had a doctor since. My counselor kind of did the trick for me and helped me out, and I've not been back to see a psychiatrist or a general practitioner about my depression since. The people at True Hope have just been able to help me out all I needed. I left university in quite a depression, and then it would go back and forth between the lows and the highs. And it was my mom who finally said, "You need to go to a doctor because you're driving me crazy. I can't handle you anymore." And I didn't even live with her, but if I'd have the highs, I'd run over to mom and dad's house and let's go do something and just be all hyper and out of control. And I went to my regular physician and just explained to him how I was feeling, and he got me an appointment with a psychiatrist in town. So I went to that doctor, and she had me fill out paperwork and ask me questions and diagnosed me that day with bipolar depression. And I started on the first medication that I ever took, and it was kind of a trial medication so I could get it for free, and it worked. It balanced me out for, I'm gonna say 6 months. It was so long ago it's hard to remember. And after a while, it just didn't work anymore. The lows started coming back and the highs started coming back. And I was going in to see her on a regular basis anyway, so I told her, I said, it's not right. So she changed my medication, and I went on to Lithium and Celexa combination. And that worked for a while too, except that it made me sick to my stomach, so I would have to go on to a slow dose of the lithium. And I stayed on that for a while, I guess a couple years. But I was steadily having to have my dosages increased. They would eventually, after a few months, I'd start to get symptoms again, and I'd go back in and she'd increase my dosage. I was on the second highest dosage of lithium that you could take and was going to need to be increased. You could tell it was coming on when my mom found out about the True Hope program, and we went to check that out. Things are a little bit different now. When I first started on the program, each participant had their own counselor, I guess you could say, that I could phone at any time. I had his home phone number, and if I had any issues at all, I could talk to him about it, and any problems if withdrawal symptoms started coming back. So he was very good. I told him what medication I was taking and what dosages, and he told me how much of the True Hope or the EMPowerplus to take and for how long, and then he would tell me in 2 weeks' time you can cut it back to this amount and increase your EMPowerplus to whatever amount. And often he would know I needed my medication changed because, or my dosages changed, because I would start to have withdrawal symptoms. I would feel the symptoms of the depression coming back, and I would phone him up, and right away he'd say, okay, well, now we know to change it to this and this. And eventually, I can't remember how long it took, but I was weaned off of the Lithium and Celexa, and at that time I was taking 8 capsules 4 times a day, and I could not miss them. I had to make sure that I really noticed if I missed a dosage. And it was relatively easy. The withdrawal symptoms were, looking back, not that bad. I guess at the time they seemed, you know, when you start to get the weepy days, you know, it's time to change the medication. And once I got onto that program full time, as long as I always remembered to take my medicine, which I was bad for, everything was good. I felt much better, lots of energy. I rarely get sick anymore, taking all the nutrients in the supplement, and that's how things went for me. It's pretty normal now, I would think. I've had 3 kids, got married, had three kids, and I have a pretty busy lifestyle. I'm not working, but I'm taking care of 3 kids all day long, so if I'm not well, it's very difficult to function. I know I had some issues after my second child was born. When she was about 2 months old, I think, I started to notice the symptoms of the depression coming back, and all it was a matter of just adjusting my medication. Or my supplement. I just needed to increase my dosage for a little while, and things improve for me again. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.